Injuries, oh, injuries. What a bad time to have lots of injuries. We've got the Carabao Cup final later today after a big top of the table Premier League clash, but we are without a number of stars. How will it affect us? Let's go and find out. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 162 of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. The Tudor Times is back and the title race is tense, but we are without a number of key stars. I'm almost glad that we've got a week and a half off after this game and that we've got 2 weeks without a league game, because otherwise we'd probably be in quite big trouble when it comes to the Premier League title chase. We're going to have a look at all of the injury news in a moment. Face Spurs, who are 10 points behind us with a game in hand. It's all very tense in the top 5 of the table. And then, of course, we will head to Wembley to try and right the wrongs of the last couple of years by winning a Carabao Cup. So if you're looking forward to all of that, then please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. All the other key playlists are up in the eye above and all the links down in the description below to other platforms. A massive thank you for the support on Twitch with F1 Manager and the FM streams. And of course, we'll be back with Europa watch-alongs from next week. But for now, it's all about Hemel Hempstead Town, because it's been quite simple, really. The last few weeks has just been a sea of serious injuries. It started in the last episode where we had Gilby, or in fact the one before with Anders. But if we go to the medical centre now and we head over to the current injuries, we are going to meet an almighty fright. Because we have got John Moore, our first choice goalkeeper, out for 3 weeks. Kevin Herve again out for now 2 months. It would have been 3 at the start, but he's missed a couple of games already. Stamatis had a 5-week knock. He's a bit into that. We've already got him down for 3 weeks. He's going to miss all the key games in this episode. And 2 more weeks for Gianni Gilby too. So none of those are going to feature in this episode. They are 4 of our starting 11. There is no other way of putting it. Kevin Herve is potentially going to have to go this summer. I know we signed him for huge money, but realistically, is he going to stay fit for long enough? He started 10 Premier League games, and he's been here for a good 25. Yes, we've rested him for 1 or 2, but for the most part, we have just had injuries galore. So Kevin Herve is someone we're going to have to look at in the summer. The rest of them are going to be huge misses, but the goals, thankfully, they haven't quite dried up yet. And while we haven't been vintage, we haven't been fantastic, we've been efficient. We've produced the performance of champions. So let's go and have a look at the schedule for the couple of games off camera. A 2-1 win at Fulham, an 89th minute win from Carlos Torres. We conceded in the second minute. Davris got us back on terms just after the break. And then Torres saved the day. Frederick Anders not been able to get back into top form. So thankfully, one of our other strikers stepped up. Then a 3-0 win followed away at Shakhtar. Srubek, Martin and Torres all scoring 1. As we kind of expected, they've been a really weak last 16 opponent, and you can understand why. 2 or 3 of their star players are either on loan from us and can't play, or the midfield ones are players that we've had before and were very lower end Premier League standard. We had them to help us survive in the Premier League, and they're now trying to compete in the Champions League. So we were always going to be favourites for that. Who do we get in the last 8 and who's fit for those matches? That's going to be the big question after. But overall, on the pitch, things are going well. Injury-wise, it's catastrophic. And we just have to hope at this point that we can find enough results and we can find a way to win trophies. Because the Carabao Cup, we have had some frustration in recent years. There's no denying that. If we go and have a look at the history of the competition and the past winners, we were runners-up last year. We won it the year before, but failed the 2 before that. And really, it's the sort of competition we should be looking to impose our dominance on. So let's get through to the fixtures, because we've got a Premier League game first. It is Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday night. Liverpool picked up 3 points earlier today. They're now just 3 points behind us. The goal difference gap is not massive between the 2 of us. And tomorrow, United go away to Fulham, could close the gap to 6 points. City, maybe not so much of a threat with the extra games played. But overall, if Tottenham win this and if United win tomorrow, we could be in trouble in a few games' time. Have a look at Chelsea as well. We might have the biggest relegation of this save. Might be one that you want to continue later on. Let's go and pick our lineup though for Spurs. Lots of players out. We did rest a few for the Shakhtar game, as has been our policy in the weaker Champions League matches. So let's see what 11 we can put out for this one. and whether they'll be good enough to beat Tottenham Hotspur. And again, we've got fitness dilemmas because it's not just the four that are injured. We've got Martin Klaas, who is nowhere near fit and can't play today. We've got Vass and Louise on the bench, not in great condition. Martin making his comeback from injury is still not fully fit to do 2 games a week. So our midfield is a little patched together. Our front two is an unproven partnership. And at the back, well, Prince Shabinda is going to have to become a star again. We've got young Murillo in goal with Chauvin and Shabinda the fullbacks, Davris and Zaruk reunited at centre-half, and Drecker, De Witte, who's playing in the box-to-box role, Coronel and Joe, the midfield four. He's come back from AFCON and barely kicked a ball since. With a Dogwoo, only 1 goal for him. We saw it last episode, alongside Anders up front. 15 goals for him this season, but poor form recently. When was his last goal, in fact? 3 or 4 games ago? So, no, he did score 1 against Leicester. That's unfair. But otherwise, it's been a very quiet spell for both. And without Gilby, our goal threat is dwindling. So let's go and get into the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's a huge one for Hemel Hempstead Town. A win in this, and we're big title favourites. A defeat, and it's anyone's game. Let's go and see which pans out. And here are the lineups. Majewski has dropped to full-back for Spurs, an interesting choice. Rudd still up front. I've mentioned it before, they've got one of the best sides in the world on paper, but their star centre-half partnership is not in today. Scott Lane's on the bench on his way back from injury. Hushy's dropped. Not sure of the reasoning. They may have had a midweek European game too. So let's tell the lads to go out and impress us. Hopefully, they deliver a good performance, and one of those 2 strikers. Just find your form in front of goal. That's all I'm asking tonight. Well, it's taken the pattern of the City game, this one. Half an hour gone. No shots on target, a very gutsy, defensive, cagey game. And to be honest, I said this in the last episode as well. If we can draw these types of games, it's not a disaster for us. We did the same at City. I mean, we've almost been draws galore in the Premier League. Certainly in this calendar year. We've drawn 4 or 5 already in the last 8 or 9. Away from home, a lot of the time we have done that. And to be fair, I know we beat Fulham in the last one, but that was a last-minute goal. We are draws galore. We've got to find a way to get over the line. And with our star players not back anytime soon, it's going to have to be an unconventional way. We've got fatigue in midfield and really no one fit to replace them. So I don't know what changes to make at the minute. And Joe's been poor since AFCON. Anders has had a few poor games. Now Coronel's knackered. De Witte doesn't play there and he started in midweek. We've got a nervous Davris at the bench. I've got no fit natural centre midfielders. Do I put the others on for 25 anyway? Because we haven't got a game for 8 days. I'm going to take Coronel off for Alberto Vass. I'm going to take De Witte off for Louise. I'm going to have to do Davris. Davris off. Hanifan on. He's determined, he's fit, and he's got a good personality. So let's see what he does here. Not the conventional sub. I'll probably regret not taking Joe off. But let's encourage them. We've got 15 minutes to go. Are we going to go the whole match without a highlight? No, we're not, because we're back with Spurs clearing it long downfield. Prince Shabinda is making the run back. Former Arsenal man will want to do well in this game. Hanifan gets it to Ndreka. Up to Louise. Has support in midfield, goes back to Zaruk. But the fact I'm bringing on fatigue midfielders is not a good sign, as Zaruk finds a Dogwoo with a brilliant ball through the channel. Down the right-hand side, back to Louise! Who cares if he's half fit? He still knows how to hit a football. And that is a fabulous goal. Yet another assist for a Dogwoo. He's been assists galore since he joined this club. I'd love it if he could finish as well as he sets them up. But what a goal for Louise. It might be a title-winning goal. It's a fabulous strike. It's 90 minutes gone. And I am going to go and set up the time wasting. You're going to have to forgive me on this one. We don't get to do it often with Hemel now because we're often a dominant side. But still, this game, what a result it would be. And one of the young stars off the bench. He's had so many nearly there moments in his career so far. But at 23 now, and with him developing well, I think that might be the moment Louise arrives. I feel that's the moment where he says, yes, I'm a Hemel Hempstead Town star. So let's go and drop to a cautious mentality. We are going to time waste all the time. We're going to be more disciplined. Oh, I feel lovely being able to say this again. Hold our shape, slow the pace down. I've missed you, Mr. Time Wasting. Let's not close the goalkeeper down. Let's drop the line of engagement. 3 minutes to cling on. Hemel Hempstead Town. Oh, it's a free kick to Spurs. Majewski takes it. Good save, Murillo, the young keeper. And now we've got a free kick right down by our own corner flag. Hanifan will take it. 45 seconds left. You make sure you take as many of them as possible. Get the booking. It does not matter. Spurs have left the player on the goal line. Why are you playing short? Get it down there. Hanifan surges down the left to Shabinda. Inside to Andreka. Hoof it. Please hoof it, someone. Hanifan back to Murillo. There you go. There's the old classic boot downfield. Anders does enough to get it back to Shabinda. Finds Andreka. Into Njo. It's good football to Anders. Lovely stuff. Can we nick a second? Which we really don't deserve. And Joe gets it. I don't think there's much intent to get one. But the final whistle goes. We saw out the time in possession. And with one shot on target, we've won the game. I feel for Spurs. They never deserved to lose that in a million years. And while they maybe didn't do enough to win it at home, Louise has arrived at Hemel Hempstead Town. What a moment. What a goal. Maybe fit for winning a title. Back for the Carabao Cup final in a minute. It is fitness test time ahead of the Carabao Cup final, and all we've got is failed fitness tests. However, it has been a good weekend for us so far, because if we have a look at yesterday's Premier League results, both Manchester United and Liverpool were held, which means we've got a 5-point lead with the same number of games played. So really good signs for us in terms of retaining our first ever Premier League title, and that could be massive for securing our dominance as the top side in English football. We have, though, had a really interesting week off the pitch, because it's something we've mentioned before in this game. It is so easy to get legendary managers into your backroom team. It's something that's got to change for the next FM. We've already mentioned our director of football, Maurizio Pochettino. Well, let's have a little look at our scouting team now, because in has come Sean Dyche. £1.5 a week. I forgot to mention him. He joined a little while ago. And this week, Pep Guardiola. Just about the perfect scout you could ask for. He's ancient now, but he has been everywhere. He's got great knowledge. And if he tells me a player's good, I'm willing to take a punt and listen. We might well have another one coming this week as well, because we've been linked with both Tuchel and Brendan Rodgers. Tuchel, the better rated, so may well be coming in. There is a lot to be excited about on the Hemel Hempstead backroom team front. So some legendary names there, but can we create further legends on the pitch? Well, it's another chance to go to Wembley. It's another chance to win a trophy. We lost disappointingly to Southampton last year despite taking an early lead. This year, we face Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup final. Let's go and pick our 11. There's not going to be too many changes because, frankly, we haven't got that many people fit. Jason Cross is in the opposition instructions, a player we tried to sign when we first got promoted. Well, let's see how he gets on against us today and what sort of team we can put out. Well, some people on the bench today that probably wouldn't deserve a medal in other circumstances. We have been forced into a couple of changes, and one we've made of our own accord. That one is Martin Klaas returning at left back in place of Prince Shabinda. The two that are enforced, we've got Louise coming in the middle. De Vita is suspended. Louise is now fully fit, and my word, did he earn it off the bench against Spurs. And then Carlos Torres is in up front. Adogru is cup-tied, and Torres, well, he's been in scoring form, so he's going to come in from the start. I was tempted to go for Srubek as well, but his morale is a little down at the minute. So this is the lineup for the League Cup final. 3 changes made, not a big squad. The likes of Brandon Smith, the youngster on the bench, John Moore, who's not fully fit, the keeper. But otherwise, it's still pretty decent, and I'd expect it to get a result. So let's head over. It's Wembley Stadium. Can we make up for last year's disappointment? And of course, as well as being armed with Jason Cross, Newcastle also have the goalkeeper that would have been our first choice if all had gone to plan this summer. Novica Stokic, we bid 64 million for. They managed to outbid us on the wage front. That's the reason he's there, and John Moore is still here with a new contract and an injury in his mid-30s. So let's go through to the dressing room. Hope he doesn't stop us lifting it today. And then we can laugh in his face at the end when he's got no medal round his neck and we've got a nice gold one. Let's get into the first half. Oh, I'm a petty little child, aren't I? And we're back with 6 minutes on the clock as Martin Klaas has a throw on the left. He's worked his way to Coronel and Klaas again. And Drecker finds Davris. We're camped in the Newcastle half. But I'm not getting excited because this is roughly when we scored against Southampton last year and we still lost it. This time, no, Langford's nicks the ball and Andrade finds Walsh, surging down the right-hand side. Back to Andrade again. Newcastle looking confident, looking composed on the big stage here. It's only a couple of years ago they were back down in the Championship and now they're almost ahead there. Brilliant deflected tackle and I think he's won the goal kick too. Great effort from Davris. As we're back with Newcastle again, heading up all clear. Coronel gets there ahead of Ocken, and he gives it to Davris on halfway, to Martin Klaas, and Davris again. And Drecker to Louise, through ball to Torres, back to Njo, chance to shoot, he goes alone, brilliant goal! No pressure on him, that's the Newcastle worry. But for us, it's a brilliant finish, and Joe's been awful since he's come back from AFCON. He's not looked fit at any stage. But my word, has he made amends today. He delivered when we beat Watford here a couple of years ago. Didn't he score a hat-trick in that game, in that cup final? Certainly contributed in it. And here he's got the first goal. But we've fallen from this position before. It's too early to get excited. In other news, I guess it's very important that in the end we didn't sell on deadline day. With Herve out, if we'd have lost Klaas, we'd have been in trouble. If we hadn't assigned Shabinda, if we'd lost Azoma now, considering what's happened to Gilby, it probably is a blessing in disguise that we didn't get those offers. As here come Newcastle on the front foot with Plasher on the left. Plays it inside to his midfielder and Langford. Up to Jason Cross playing in that number 10 role. And he's trying to work it through here. It's lovely movement. Gets round Andreka like he's not there. But his shot is comfortably over the bar. It's been an exciting 10 minutes at Wembley. Better cup finals than we're used to over the years. But we still lead 1-0, and that's all that matters, as Davris gets it short from Klaas from the throw-in. Edge of his own box to Andreka, and Coronel works it wide to him again. Klaas into Coronel. Back to Davris. Wide to Klaas. Space to run into. Chips it up towards Anders, who flicks down for Louise, and Torres to Coronel. Through ball to Louise. He was hero last week. He's hero this week. Louise, mark this as the episode. Put it as a bookmark. This is a chapter in Hemel Hempstead Town's history. The wonder kid for so long, I wondered when he'd deliver. Well, he's reached it. This is the moment. Louise has become a Hemel Hempstead Town legend. A goal that might win us the league title, and a goal that probably lifts the Carabao Cup for us. What an episode for that young man, and what an episode for me so far. 5 minutes to the break. It's Murillo with the ball in his own 6-yard box. Short goal kick to Zaruk, and he goes wide to Chauvin. Bar the first 10 minutes, we've not seen much of Newcastle, but they have been gifted possession back here. Plashter gets it wide, Zaruk wins a good header there, and Chauvin keeps it in on the right to Louise. And Coronel, over halfway to Anders, holds the ball up well, finds Klaas on the left-hand side, and Coronel again. Has support forward, but goes back to Davris on halfway. Newcastle not pressing our centre-halves, giving them acres of space in possession, as Andreka finds Louise. Has a man inside, goes back to Zaruk instead, and Andreka. Lovely passing move to Coronel. Great run from Njo, but hadn't been found. Davris comes forward though. He does find him. And Joe shoots. It's a great save from Stokic. That's why we wanted to sign him. Flying up to his left to tip it over. And it's a corner kick, which Njo will take himself. To the back post. Davris up. Header wide on the near post. 2-0. We're right on top. Can we make this a comfortable win? We got another corner. Back with Njo just 2 minutes later. Headed away at the back post as far as Louise. Chance to cross from the left-hand side. Anders up, but he can't win the header, and it falls for Njo again. We are camped in their half. They just can't get out, and they can't relent from the pressure. As Klaas, down the left to Coronel. Forced a little wide. Gives it to Klaas again, and Andreka. We're so composed in possession here. We look really confident. As Zaruk finds Louise. To Coronel. Through to Anders. Hasn't scored many recently, and can't change that there. Good goalkeeping from Stokic again. And if it wasn't 2-0, I'd be very upset about his saves at the moment. Header in from Davris from the corner though. That is a lovely finish. Bullet header at the far post. It was never getting stopped. 3-0, tie over. We're going to lift the cup. We have well and truly made amends for last season. Let's go and tell the lads how pleased we are with that. It was a fabulous performance. Really, really impressive. Now let's enjoy the second half because this has been very good. We're just past the hour mark and we're back in our own third in possession. Dodgy back pass which Murillo does well with and finds Davris to Andreka. Back to Murillo who just hoofs it downfield. Up goes Torres. Can he win the header? No. Wide to Plasher on the left. I'll think about subs in a few moments' time. Maybe get some of the younger players on. But for now we just want to enjoy this occasion. As Bugler on the left. Torres nicks it off him. Does well to keep possession there. Really good poaching from the centre forward. Coronel gets it to Torres and Anders. They're pressing so high and Newcastle just forced to hoof it clear. Straight to Zaruk on halfway. Chips it up to Anders. He's in 1-on-1. I don't know if he's onside, but it doesn't look like there's a VAR check. It's a fabulous finish from Frederick Anders. And he's finally delivered a goal. He scored in the last episode. He scored in this one. He only scores when you guys are watching. And we're back again with a quarter of the game to go. Andrade on the right hand side. Class intercepts possession and wins it back for Andreka. Gives it to Luiz and Njo. Support from Frederick Anders and Torres. Who's going to make the run? And Joe does, but it's a poor ball. Torres gets it again though. Back to Davris on halfway. Lots of men in front of him. Runs into the space and finds Coronel. Nice little layoff to Anders. Cheeky back heel. It's worked into Njo on the edge of the box. Ball back to Class is terrible. And Andrade will bring it away. Class gets all the way back. Wins it on the left. It's really good work from the left fullback. And he gives it to Davris here. Lovely in possession. Good challenge from Langford. But Class wins it again to Anders. It's relentless pressure. It is a brilliant performance. Luiz finds Njo. Good effort, just wide. Let's go and make changes. What a cup final this has been. We are going to go and take off maybe Njo, but he's had such a good game, I don't want to. Who are the ones on the bench we'd like to bring on? There's not really any youngsters there, to be honest. I'll replace both fullbacks, Chauvin with Mellon. I'm going to bring off Class for Shabinda. I don't know if we get 5 in the final. I'll have to have a look. Coronel will be replaced by Alberto Vass. We'll take off Frederick Anders, who's still building his fitness for... Let's throw Azoma on. He very rarely gets a game. We'll see what he's got left in him. And then Hanifan, maybe at the back, because the centre-halves are most susceptible to injury. The only other option is really Martin for Njo. So we'll leave it 5 minutes, then we'll make a decision. Right then, Collins Njo is knackered. He's had a great game, but Carlos Martin is going to get his cup final run out. Look at those stats. 29 shots to 6, 12 on target to 1, nearly 60% of the ball, and the expected goals up at 3. We've been brilliant. Shabinda throws into Torres. We're not done yet. Back to Andreka. Support from Davris. Again, no pressure on the centre-half. It's where so many of our moves have started, and he finds Luiz under no pressure. To Andreka. Back to Zaruk, who again, no one near him. Luiz gives it to Azoma, to Martin, to Azoma. Can Stanley Azoma even score? Not with a finish like that. It's bloody awful, to be honest. And he somehow missed by a million miles there, as Andrade gets on the end of a long goal kick, but only gives it to Davris. Andreka picks it up, finds Vass. Lovely turn. In the centre circle. Again, no pressure, just a simple pass. Luiz finds Martin. That's a great ball. Martin shoots. Martin has scored the goal of the day. Back from his long-term injury. Puts a thunderbolt into the postage stamp. Nearly took the net off. It was an incredible strike. Carlos Martin scores. It's 5-0 Hemel Hempstead. And Luiz now has an assist to add to his goal. We are coming to lift the trophy, and we have never deserved it more. We have seen so many cup final performances where we've had to be gritty, where it's been cagey, and where frankly we haven't deserved to win. But in this one, it was emphatic. It is the best cup final performance we have ever produced. And with it, we win the Carabao Cup. The disappointment of last year is gone. Now let's just hope it's the first of many this season. We're still in the FA Cup. We face the same team in 3 days. And crucially, we're still in the Champions League too. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when it's going to be back. But that is a lovely way to start the trophy winning season. Well, following that victory, I'm looking at when we can come back. And actually, it's 3 Newcastle games in a row because we've got them in the league next weekend too. Hopefully, we've given them a bit of a mental scar from that one. I think we have to come back around the start of April. Liverpool and United in the league are huge games, potentially, if they stay in the title race. And we should, all being well, have one of our Champions League quarter-final legs between them. So we're going to show the Champions League quarter-final and one of those 2 matches. If you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy that brilliant cup final win, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. Let me know in the comments, am I right on Luiz? Does that goal at Spurs and the one in the cup final now make him a legend at this football club? Can we win the Champions League though? Let me know what you think. In the meantime, you can find all the other playlists up in the eye above and links to all the other platforms in our link tree down below. There's also links down there to ways you can support the channel, but above my head now is yesterday's Viborg episode. It is a massive end to the season in that one too. It'll be back tomorrow, so make sure you're up to date. I'll see you back here on Monday for the Champions League quarter-final.